I hope you've got your running shoes on because we are on the final lap of determining which courses in Mario Kart 8 are runnable by me, a human. Hi, I'm a human. It's been a long journey with far more jogging than I have ever actually done in my life, and today we're rounding it out by taking a look at the remaining booster pack courses. Booster pack foliade. Since there have been 4 of these suckers, I'm gonna be quick with the rules. We're disregarding speed boost, coins, etc., as well as anti-gravity defying parts of the track since it's kind of tradition at this point. And the aim of the game is to run the track in the path that was intended by the designers, so not going around obstacles that take up the entirety of the track or taking shortcuts that aren't given to you by the game. At the same time, we're looking at these tracks from a human perspective, as if I were jogging them in real life. I'm not going to walk through a public fountain if there's no way to go around it. I'm not going to attempt to jump down a cliff if it will likely break my legs, so on and so forth. I say as if I were jogging them in real life, but in real life I would and I could never. My cardio abilities are disappointing at best, and I wish I was joking when I said that I threw out my back last week. Yeah, I'm serious. Even during bed rest, I crawl ever closer towards death. I also made the unfortunate discovery after the last video that I do in fact need to check all 3 laps for every track and not just for the tour ones, so assume that I did do that even if I don't mention it. Speaking of the tour courses, I really don't want to keep up the bit of me saying things in all the languages. I know I did it last time, but it was like French and German. The hardest was Japanese, and some people thought that I used like a vocoder for that, but that was all me. I did re-record it after I filmed the video because I wasn't happy with any of the takes that I did, but it wasn't a robot. And if you still don't believe me, watashi wa Google honyaki o tsujite kore o iu koto o manabimashita. Like, the pronunciation is still not great, and I think the grammar is just like completely wrong, but it's me saying it. Point is, it was hard enough last time to learn those phrases in languages they offer in high school, and this time it's Dutch, Thai, Malay, Greek, Italian, and Castilian Spanish. It's better for the both of us if I don't. That being said, let's jump into the Fruit Cup and in turn, Amsterdam Drift. You know, I've never actually been in the Netherlands, but these blocky tulips are really making me want to go. Oh, I love that color purple. Okay, Netherlands, maybe I'll give you a shot. Oh, well, actually, it looks like I'll never go to the Netherlands if this is the kind of infrastructure they're working with. We're not gonna be able to get along. Amsterdam Drift is unrunnable. Ooh, okay, Riverside Park. Very cool, very moody, kind of a bizarre vibe they got going on. It's giving me a mixture of Donut Plains 3 and DK Jungle Parkway? Oh, paratroopers are back. Wait, this looks like it might be a makeable jump. Let me get a running start at it, and okay. Listen, you can't say I didn't give that my best shot. I backed up to get some speed and I still didn't make it. There's also a waterfall further ahead. And thus, Riverside Park is unrunnable. DK Summit! Oh, not the 2D crowd again. Nintendo doesn't have the money to hire a real crowd of people to watch me race. Well, it's pointless anyway, because that's a big cannon, and make body go ouchie if go through it, so DK Summit is unrunnable. Yoshi's Island! Oh my god, Poochie! Poochie! I am freaking out. Such a big fan, sir. Oh my god, that is just, picture of perfection right there. These guys, not so much. Save it for the circus, fellas. I am really loving this level. Oh, this sucks. No, I really wanted to run this. Oh, and even if we make our way down this hill, it doesn't matter because that's all underwater. Sadly, so sadly, Yoshi's Island is unrunnable. By the way, this is such a fun game. I'm just saying, sometimes I keep playing the level afterwards, even if it's not runnable, because I want to see what the rest looks like, and I just have a huge smile on my face the whole time. It's so fun, man. Anyways, that's besides the point. Back to running. So, not the best start for the Fruit Cup, but maybe the Boomerang Cup will turn it all around. Bangkok! I hear this place is the creme de la creme of the chess world in a show with everything but Yul Brynner. It is certainly beautiful. And we're gonna be getting our little feetsies wet right off the bat, but this is very shallow water, so you could jog right through it. The splashes it would create would be highly unpleasant, but it won't stop this train running. We're not gonna go up on the roof, but we might see what fruit or veggies they're offering here. Oh, look at all these indeterminate vegetables that I could purchase. Let's carry on. What else? Sorry, I got distracted by the posters. I want to see if there were any shows we could see while we were here. Why waste a good trip? And with that, it looks like lap 1 is very doable. However, while lap 2 took us through an exciting part of the city, eventually I did get to a jump that would be impossible to make. So this city has indeed made a hard woman humble. Because you can complete 1 lap but not the rest, Bangkok Rush is partially runnable. This feels like the 80th time I've covered Mario Circuit. I am so tired of running Mario Circuit. There's nothing to talk about. Wow, this Mario Circuit has Goombas. Groundbreaking. It's also got these piranha plants spitting fire that admittedly would be much more risky in real life, but also I don't really think they're aiming for you, so you can just watch their pattern and then go around pretty easy. Yeah, look, they don't care about me at all. Moving on to a little forest scene that's taking me right back to my jog through Central Park in the New York course. And then we have this little hill thing, but that's nothing to worry about. The rest of the way just has some downhill curves, and thus concludes the very exciting DS Mario Circuit. DS Mario Circuit is runnable. Well, we learned in a previous installment that we couldn't jog through Wario Stadium, but will Waluigi Stadium hold more promise? Running through this wet mud would be so sonically unpleasant. Just I'm so sorry I had to do that to your ears. But the course might be putting us out of our muddy misery here with this jump. Now remember, the speed boost wouldn't affect us in real life, so don't mind me face planting into this wall, but I'm just trying to go on the edge here to see if we... Oh! Plot twist! We can actually get over this no problem! So our journey through the mud pie continues. Next, we have some obstacles that are not threatening in the least, really. Overall, this doesn't seem like a very fun jog. Big boot camp vibes, actually, with the mud and obstacles and the hills. However, we're gonna have to unenlist from this boot camp because that is a jump that we could not make. Waluigi Stadium is unrunnable. Wow, I'm quickly realizing I know nothing about Singapore. Facts about Singapore. Oh, the Guinness Book of World Records says that the record for the longest human domino chain was set in Singapore by 9,234 students. So maybe we'll see that as we're jogging through. Anyway, Singapore looks lovely, and we won't be seeing the rest due to the giant, beautiful cannon. I'm missing the rooftop disappearing edge pools of Singapore? I didn't even get to see the human domino chain. Singapore is unrunnable. Moving on over to the Feather Cup, Athens Dash looks like the kind of place that I would get kicked out of by security for running around. Like, I'm about to see a school field trip walkthrough here in a second. This is a pretty big ledge here. Let's see. Yeah, that's a pretty spooky leap. And also, I wouldn't be able to safely get to the ground. Yeah, that seems like an unsafe gap to clear from this high up. I might be able to scuttle down that pillar on the other side. Okay, let's give it a shot. Oh, broken leg. Broken leg. Broken leg. Okay, look, maybe that's doable, but if in 3 out of 4 universes I'm gonna break my legs attempting that stunt, I'm saying Athens Dash is unrunnable. A cruise? Don't mind if I do. Although now I'm channeling big, annoying child sprinting around the cruise ship whose parents are nowhere to be seen energy. Okay, just wanted to check that the other way came out to the same place. But if I were on a cruise, you would catch me at the buffet. Oh, cool. Parachute bus. Dining room giving me Titanic vibes. Love this. And oh, that seems like a huge safety hazard. Don't know how many cruises have portholes that lead directly into the sea in the middle of the indoor flooring, but y'all do y'all. Then we just have a little stroll along the deck and we're at the end. Daisy Cruiser is runnable. Moonview Highway. Oh boy. I always knew this day would come. Podium, please. Goon buddies, I have an admission. I am but a human. It says so in the title. And as a human, I err. I have opinions. I change my mind. And at some point during this series, I lost the plot on where I stand on roads. This is where the line between game and reality really blurs for me. Could you run down the road even if it had cars on it? Sure. Should you? No. So throughout this series, I've not said that running along a road that had moving cars on it automatically ruled a course as unrunnable, but I have taken proper safety precautions, i.e. running along the shoulder of the road whenever I could. But even when that wasn't a possibility, like on the Berlin Byways course, I noted that the cars were spaced out enough that I felt safe running between them. Admittedly, I've made calls in the series that felt right in the moment, but that I've regretted looking back on. Like opening the frickin' can of worms that was going around Dry Desert's pond, even though I did say that you could also go from island to island. Once you get here, I would say swimming the gaps between islands would be fair play since they're pretty small gaps, but if you want to play it safe, you could also go around this way. I should have just gone from island to friggin' island. If I had, maybe we wouldn't have had Excitebike Gate with people telling me to go around the hill. The point is that even today, I have to follow my heart when it comes to making these decisions with road-based courses, and accept that there will always be people who call me a hypocrite for allowing one thing but not allowing another. All I can do is be as transparent as possible with my reasoning and hope that it doesn't fall upon ears and hearts that are unwilling to open. All this being said, there is no shoulder on this course. There are quite a few fast-moving vehicles because Moonview Highway is a highway, after all. But what solidified my decision in the end were these man toll booths. They cover the entirety of the road, and while all sorts of vehicles are allowed through them, joggers without vehicles are not. Just like in real life. You can't walk through a toll booth on the highway. It's illegal. They would not let you through. So that being the case, Moonview Highway is unrunnable. Same grace as I show other stages where we're supposed to seem tiny, I'm going to look at everything in Squeaky Clean Sprint as being huge instead. And I like how even though I just said that I regretted my decision to go around the pond in dry desert, I'm first gonna see if there's a dry way to go around this. You can't get over that toothbrush, so that's not gonna work, but you can go around the edge of the sink. However, on principle, I will swim straight through it because I would count this body of water as a short enough distance to not ruin the sanctity of the track. Especially since the entirety of the bowl is the track. There's nothing special under the water. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, this part would be the least enjoyable slide in the world due to that material. Just looking at it gives me booty burns. And then as we come around here, we have a ledge that is actually quite the drop. Maybe it wouldn't be the biggest issue since there's water below, but unfortunately that water continues for a long time, even continuing down a drain, so that won't work. Squeaky Clean Sprint is unrunnable. This is turning out to be a pretty unrunnable run so far, but let's take a look at the Cherry Cup. Starting in my city, Los Angeles. We're currently at a very generous interpretation of Santa Monica Pier, but here we get Princess Orange instead of Bubblegum Shrimp. Upgrade or downgrade, you decide. And then we get a jump that is surprisingly massive. Normally this would be a questionable jump using the guide we talked about in a previous video where a parkour athlete said they could make a max 16-foot jump without injury, and an EMT said that a fall 3 times a person's height is considered a critical fall, which for me would be 18 feet. Yes, I'm 6 foot, get your gasps out now. But it's also sand below, which would be a bit more shock absorbent than normally solid ground, so I'm gonna have more leniency here. I'm also noticing there's a weird perspective thing going on here where everything looks massive, so that's throwing off my sense of scale a bit. Dazed and confused, but likely okay, I continue on, purposefully not doing any sick stunts at the skate park and avoiding the human-sized crabs that are native to LA, and all in all, the first lap goes by smoothly. Unfortunately, in lap 2, we get to a point where the course would like for us to jump over a stadium, and we are going to have to let the course down on this one. Los Angeles Laps is partially runnable. On to Sunset Wilds, another desert level. I just love running on hard dirt in the heat. Watch out for those plastic chocolate pudding puddles. I feel like while Waluigi Stadium's mud would be like, this would be more like, you know, I'm just saying. Also be careful not to trip and sprain an ankle on those dino footprints. Oh, I love these guys' vibe. Get it, hey. Oh man, I miss those guys. Alright, we next have to very annoyingly run up and down these steep hills and past the ominous paratroopas, and that brings us to the end. Sunset Wilds is runnable. Koopa Cape starting out with the ominous paratroopas. Bold choice. And they were clearly a bad omen, as we immediately cannot go any further due to that jump. Koopa Cape is unrunnable. Ooh, I'll wear my fancy Canada hat for this one. Vancouver, famously known for its parking. Well, this will be a cold jog, that's for sure. Ooh. Shaking in my sneakers. Whoa, that ledge snuck up on me. Okay, those are steps, that's fine. And what about this one? Whoa. Let's go back and examine that one real quick. That was deceiving. Okay, so once again, this is kind of giving that Los Angeles Laps jump, and once again, we are jumping on a soft snow, so the court will allow it. We carry on. But this, okay, no. A girl can only take so much. That jump has way too much ankle spraining potential. Some of y'all might think this 18-foot rule is an exaggeration, but I want to show you some real-life examples of what a 20-foot jump looks like. 20-foot things are easier to find than 18-foot things. This marionette is 20 feet. You want to make that jump? This maze is 20 feet. How's that jump looking? These guys total almost 20 feet, so it would be like jumping from the top of this guy's head, which is practically the roof of a 2-story home. And maybe you say, but Anna, if you use the Mii's height to measure, it's a shorter jump. Well, ratio-wise, it doesn't really make a difference because it's still at least 3 times the Mii's height, which would be considered a critical fall. But let's do some math. Reddit user Just Chetta used the measurements in the training mode of Smash Bros to determine that the Mii fighters are 5'3", which at least for right now is as close to a canon height as we're gonna get. So 5 feet and 3 inches multiplied by 3 is 15 feet and 9 inches, almost 16 feet. This is what 16 feet looks like in real life. Still not a jump a casual jogger would make and happily jog away after. A jump from that height is genuinely so dangerous, and do not try it at home. So Vancouver Velocity is unrunnable. Canada had begun! It's time for the Acorn Cup. Taking a stroll through the streets of Rome? What am I, Lizzie McGuire? This truly is what dreams are made of. Little steps there, no big, but this ginormous incline that goes all the way up would be a big deal. I'm huffing and puffing by the end of that. And I am also coming to a stop because that is obviously too big of a jump for a human to make. Romavanti is unrunnable. While DK Mountain was my favorite course to play on Mario Kart Double Dash, having to run up this hill wouldn't even put it in my top 10 today. Terrible. Hate that. And I'm very sad that we won't be able to see the rest of this incredible course because we would splat against that volcano like a smooshed bug with the force of that cannon. DK Mountain is unrunnable. Ah, another circuit. Let's see if Daisy's circuit fares any better than Mario's. Got more of that confetti, so keep your mouth closed. And then this is a very simplistic sort of run through some cobblestone streets. Nothing terrible. Having to avoid some cones that are sectioning off what exactly, I'm not really sure, but they're there. And we go around this ramp since it's really just in our way as a jogger. Some more curves, still nothing crazy. Oh, love that sign, by the way. And then that's it. Daisy Circuit is runnable. Piranha Plant Cove. No. Extra triple quadrillion quintuple billion no, because I'm not getting in any body of water with that eel ever. Ever. Piranha Plant Cove is unrunnable. On to our final cup of the video, the Spiny Cup. Okay, they can't put a churro shop right there in my eye line and not expect me to make a pit stop. I won't stop today, but that was asking a lot of me. And then it seems like it's just more jogging through streets, plus stairs, but besides that, okay, giant wiggler. We're just gonna all act like that's normal, huh? If you say so, Madrid. Let's see, 4 diamonds over there, so I guess we're going that way. And of course, more stairs. Why would we go upstairs just to go back down? Oh my gosh, Madrid, make it make sense. And more stairs. Oh, these paintings are really nice. Hold on a second, look at these. This is so, we're getting cultured. Be patient. All right, fine, let's keep going. Lap 1 coming to an end and looking good, but can we finish the whole thing? Lap 2 had stairs and more stairs. The Wiggler was awake, but not aggro, but unfortunately we do come upon a stretch that is a bit too far to be considered countable, so consider Madrid Drive partially runnable. I did not move to California just to jog in all these snowy places. All jokes aside, this is pretty magical. The ground looks okay for running, it's got some texture to it, and alright, we can run in snow too. Wait, is this snow? This looks a little dangerous. This is, okay, now this is just getting ridiculous. Just to be clear, I'm not planning on counting this, but I just want to check that this is, what, just an endless drop into the abyss? Yeah, it looks like it. Cool. And just out of curiosity, how long does this go on for? Does this go all the way? Okay, they're trolling me. I'm done. Rosalina's Ice World is unrunnable. So I actually learned after the first video in the series that you can't just sort of hang out around massive quantities of fresh lava like this due to the outrageous heat levels and toxic gases. So, I mean, look at this place. Not to mention that the gaps in this flooring are way too big. Your foot would fall right through. So for various reasons, Bowser's Castle 3 is unrunnable. We's Rainbow Road. Everybody together now. We can't jog in space. That's right. Rainbow Road is unrunnable. Wow. Out of all of the videos we've made so far, this is the worst track record for runnable courses. You might as well stay home. In fact, that's my mindset every day, baby. But I still want to know which one you would most want to run and which looks like the worst of the worst to try and jog. And I don't know if y'all saw, but a new Mario Kart looks like it's just around the river bend. So I want to know, are you sick to death of the series or would you want to see me cover that as well? Or do you want to see me do this for another racing game? Please let me know in the comments. I really do want to know your thoughts. And whether you loved or hated this series, I have something new next time that I'm very excited for y'all to see. So be sure you're subscribed so you don't miss it. We're only about 5,000 subs away from a beautiful, nice round number, so click that subscribe button and be a part of a community that loves asking the profoundly ridiculous and ridiculously profound questions about video games that no one's had the courage to ask until now. I'm gonna go rest my poor tootsies after all this jogging and probably use a heating pad on my back. But I'll see y'all next time for a whole new video. Later!
Goombanna is the wonder why she didn't come to play. Gaming vids that'll make you laugh and think and put them on replay. Intelligent, kind and funny, her community's #1. Stick around and kick your feet up. Goombanna has just begun.